Hey Scorpio, I'm Eleanor and welcome to Peaches by Starlight Tarot. This is your weekly pick a card reading, and the themes that are going to be influencing your week this week are trust and the Seven of Swords. So this is your monthly energy, and it's going to be talking about not always having all the information and not jumping to conclusions. And trust is going to be talking about not filling in those blanks with stories that you create, but to fill them with trust and faith. I'm using Grace cards and the Guardian Tarot. I have stack 1, stack 2, stack 3. They're timestamped below. You can skip ahead to the one or more than one that you want. Like, share, subscribe. You know the drill. Stack 1. You have the Fool, 10 of Cups, and Mindfulness. It says, manage your mind. When we direct our thoughts and words toward the outcome we most desire, we ignite grace. So that makes a lot of sense when we're talking about not creating fears and stories that can derail us from our goal. So keep in mind, this Guardian deck has slightly different meanings than the traditional. So if you're familiar, you can translate this into what you feel like it means for you in the traditional sense, but I'm going by this artist, the creator of this deck, and his intentions. So this is a reminder not to get carried away with what may feel like a blinding time. That you do have a goal, that this 10 of Cups, this ultimate fulfillment, this achievement in the sense of family and connection and emotional, having your cup completely filled, is out there for you. It's tangible, it's within reach. But to not become overwhelmed by what it takes to get there, or to be dismissive of what it takes to get there. And so it's time to move towards it. But the path, not all aspects of the path are clear yet. There's some mirages along the way. And so you have to stay connected to common sense and to keep the bigger picture in mind. That if you are focused too close, eyes on the ground, those little shaky, confusing parts are going to seem much bigger. Whereas if you zoom out and see the whole thing, you know how, have you seen that picture that says, if you can read this, blah, 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 and it's like, it's all upside down, and some of the letters are replaced with numbers, or it's backwards. I don't know, but it's not actually written with the letters correctly. But it's typed in just such a way that your mind will create order, and you can still read it because of what the brain is expecting to see, even though it's not actually it. So that's why you have to be able to take that bigger picture, and the mind will create order and show you the way forward. Whereas if you're zooming in and looking at the symbols like in the meme, you're like, this doesn't make words. I don't know what to do. So zoom out and see that bigger picture and keep common sense in mind, like it says. And to not let the mysterious parts derail your journey. To have faith and trust that when it's the time, when you're up front with those things, when it's time to cross those bridges, they will appear before you. And that to fill them really with this mindfulness, that if you're keeping your eyes on the goal, then you're safe. If you're being mindful. Stack 2, the World reversed. 2 of Swords and Honor. It says, care for your soul, honor the divinity within you by practicing extreme self-care. So the world in this deck, being in the reverse like this, it's like, what lessons have you not been able to learn? Or what lessons have you learned but not been able to integrate, not been able to put into practice? Like maybe you have theories, or you started to learn something, but it's not quite, you haven't quite passed the test into being able to practice what you've learned. Getting your certificate to actually do the thing that you supposedly know how to do. Then the 2 of Swords here is where the old you and the new you meet, and you do have to pass along that torch and pass along this information. It's like the old you, is the past, and so it no longer has power, and so the present you has to take this information and put it into motion and put it into action. And so what have you learned about trusting yourself? What have you learned about honoring yourself. And what have you learned about being honest with yourself, and how not hiding information with yourself, not sugarcoating things, not ignoring things, and not turning a blind eye to things. How does okay, it's like the thing where it's like self-care isn't just bubble baths and treating yourself. It can be hard. It can be having to be honest with yourself about things. But if you care about yourself really, if you want the best for yourself, you will be this deeply and brutally and truly honest with yourself. And how are you honoring yourself? And by honoring your truth. Stack 3, you have the 9 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles. It says release. Let go. When we release our attachment to the outcome, we allow the power of grace to work its magic. So these two 9s, the 9 of Cups and the 9 of Pentacles, are screaming independence and self-direction, autonomy, self-reliance. And so you have the 9 of Pentacles, this little river here, is talking about the divine wisdom that's flowing through you. And so if you are feeling with this 7 of Swords that people aren't there to help you, or there's information being left off the table, or they're not telling you what you want to know, that at this time, that what those things that feel like they're being withheld from you are because you are meant to practice trusting yourself. It's maybe some new territory. And that requires you to be present with yourself along the way, and to not just put in the coordinates of your goal and be on autopilot, but you have to be present with yourself in every moment and be in the moment along the way, because of the way that if you set a goal and then go towards it mindlessly and single-mindedly towards the goal, and are not present for the journey, you may realize that goal would change. As if you stay present with yourself along the way, you're going to adjust and fine-tune that goal, and that you two you'll be moving towards each other. And if you don't be mindful of that, you might get exactly what it is that you want, and find out that somewhere along the path you changed your mind about what you wanted. You changed your mind about what you desire, and now you've reached your goal, and it's like, but now it's not what you wanted anymore. So you just have to stay tuned in and release this attachment to what the outcome is, and stay on the path and on the journey, and stay present for the process, because that goal will change. All right, I'll talk to you in a week. Thank you.